We thought we had time, decades at least, maybe centuries to solve our problems, climate change, overpopulation, you name it. We were wrong. In the vast cold darkness of space, fate had other plans. It began, as many astronomical discoveries do, with a faint smudge on a digital image. A newly discovered comet, dubbed Nibiru by the media, far out beyond the orbit of Jupiter. At first it was just another data point for astronomers, a celestial wanderer minding its own business. But then, the data started to tell a different story. Nibiru wasn't just passing through our neighborhood, it was on a collision course with Earth. The world held its breath. Could this be it? The end of our world heralded by a cosmic ice ball? The initial reaction was a mixture of disbelief and denial. Surely something could be done. Surely, they said, we could find a way to stop it. As Nibiru drew closer, telescopes around the world focused on the icy interloper. What they saw sent chills down the spines of scientists and ignited fear in the hearts of billions. Nibiru was massive, far larger than any asteroid on a potential collision course with Earth. Its icy core was shrouded in a halo of dust and gas, making it difficult to determine its exact size. But one thing was clear: this was no ordinary comet. Initial calculations showed that Nibiru was on a direct collision course with Earth. The news, as expected, caused widespread panic. Governments around the world scrambled to reassure their citizens, but the truth was, there was little they could do. The comet, a celestial harbinger of destruction, was on its way. Hollywood had given us hope. In countless movies, brave astronauts with nukes and lasers had saved the day from rogue asteroids. But reality, as it often does, was much more complicated. Deflecting a comet the size of Nibiru was beyond our technological capabilities. First, there was the matter of its sheer size. Nibiru was massive, dwarf planet big. Its gravitational pull was enormous, making it difficult to move, let alone destroy. Second, there was the issue of time. We had discovered Nibiru too late. By the time we realized it was a threat, it was already too close for any of our current technology to have a meaningful impact. Section 4. Days of Fear, Weeks of Chaos. The world watched as Nibiru grew larger in the sky, a constant reminder of our impending doom. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. As the comet drew closer, its gravitational pull began to affect Earth's tides, causing massive floods in coastal areas. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, triggered by the immense gravitational stress on our planet, shook the globe. Panic turned to chaos, supermarkets were emptied, cities were overrun with looters. Governments, overwhelmed by the scale of the disaster, struggled to maintain order. Some people sought solace in religion, others in their loved ones. But everyone, deep down, knew what was coming. Section 5. The day the world changed. The day arrived. Nibiru, now a terrifying spectacle in the sky, entered Earth's atmosphere. The impact, when it came, was unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. It struck with the force of 1,000,000 nuclear bombs, setting off a chain reaction of unimaginable destruction. The sky turned red. Firestorms raged across continents. Oceans boiled, and the very air we breathed became thick with ash and debris. The impact had irrevocably altered the planet's climate. The sun was blotted out by a thick veil of dust, plunging the Earth into a perpetual twilight. Section 6. Picking up the pieces. The immediate aftermath of the impact was a scene of unimaginable devastation. The air was thick with smoke and ash, making it difficult to breathe. Fires raged across the globe, consuming everything in their path. The lucky ones, those who had survived the initial impact, emerged from their shelters to find a world they no longer recognized. The impact had triggered a global winter. The sun was a distant memory, hidden behind a perpetual shroud of dust and debris. Temperatures plummeted, and the once familiar landscapes were now buried under layers of ice and snow. Section 7. Seeds of Hope in the Ashes. But even in this hellscape, life found a way. Deep underground, in bunkers and shelters, pockets of humanity had survived. They emerged into a world forever changed, a world where survival was a daily struggle. The challenges were daunting. The air was toxic, water was scarce, and food even more so. The sun was a distant memory, its life-giving rays blocked by the perpetual twilight. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, the human spirit endured. People came together, sharing what little food and resources they had. They rebuilt, adapting to the harsh new reality. They learned to grow food in hydroponic farms, to purify water, to generate their own power. They created new communities bound by their shared experience and their will to survive.